My friends, when we look at the world's most successful people, those we call billionaires, we often imagine that they were born with some secret gift, some privilege beyond our reach. But let me tell you today, success is not reserved for the chosen few. Success is the reward of consistent habits, of daily discipline, of ordinary people who refuse to give up. Think of a farmer. He doesn't plant a seed today and expects a tree tomorrow. No, he waters it, protects it, and trusts the process. Habits are those seeds. Wealth, greatness, influence. These are not accidents. They are the harvest of habits cultivated over years. Let's look at the lives of some of these billionaires. Steve Jobs was not just a man with ideas. He was a man with relentless focus. Every day he disciplined his mind to think differently. Elon Musk is not simply a genius. He is a man who reads, learns, and pushes beyond failure. Oprah Winfrey was not handed success. She rose from pain and poverty because of her unshakable habit of believing in her own worth. What made them great was not luck. It was the daily habit of perseverance, the daily choice of discipline, the daily decision to move forward even when the road was dark. You see, habits are silent builders. They shape your destiny when no one is watching. They are the small decisions, repeated again and again, that create extraordinary outcomes. Waking up early, reading one more chapter, writing one more page, saying no to distractions, choosing faith over fear. These habits may look small, but over time they build empires. And here is the truth: you and I have the same gift of time. 24 hours. That's the one equalizer God gave us all. What you do with those hours determines your future. So I ask you today, what habits are you building? Are they pulling you closer to your dream or further away? Because greatness is not built in a day, but it is built daily. Do not underestimate the power of small, consistent steps. A drop of water can carve a rock, not by force, but by persistence. In the same way, your habits, if aligned with vision, will carve your future. This is not just about money. It is about responsibility. It is about becoming a better leader in your family, your community, your nation. When you discipline yourself, when you cultivate habits of excellence, you don't just rise for yourself, you lift others with you. So, my brothers and sisters, let us be people of habit. Let us build lives of purpose through discipline, courage, and faith. Do not wait for an opportunity. Prepare for it. Do not dream of success. Practice it. For the habits you build today are the future you will live tomorrow. And I leave you with this: greatness is not in some distant land. It is not in the lives of strangers you admire on a screen. Greatness is within you. It is waiting for your habits to unlock it. So rise, believe, and build. For the future belongs to those who dare to live with discipline today and with hope for tomorrow. My friends, listen carefully. Destiny is not decided in a single moment of brilliance, nor is it shaped by a stroke of luck or chance. Destiny is sculpted slowly, patiently, deliberately, by the habits you practice every single day. Think about it. A tree does not become mighty overnight. It begins as a fragile seed, watered consistently, protected daily, growing inch by inch. That is exactly how destiny works. Your life today, the way you think, the way you act, the way you respond to challenges, these are all habits. And those habits are shaping the person you are becoming, whether you realize it or not. Success does not arrive suddenly. It comes quietly as the result of repeated disciplines. The world may celebrate the breakthrough, but the real story is hidden in the background, in the private habits, in the unseen sacrifices, in the small decisions no one else claps for. The billionaire you admire, the leader you respect, the achiever you look up, they are not extraordinary people by nature. They are ordinary men and women who chose to cultivate extraordinary habits. Let me paint this picture for you. Imagine two people starting their journey with the same dream. One wakes up early, reads, learns, applies himself daily. The other sleeps late, drifts, postpones, and says, "One day I will." After 5 years, after 10 years, their destinations are no longer the same. One has built momentum, grown in wisdom, and positioned himself for opportunity. The other is still waiting for the right time, wondering why life hasn't changed. The difference is not in talent, not in resources, not even in luck. The difference is in habits. Habits are powerful because they are silent. They do not announce themselves. They shape you quietly in the background, like the sculptor's chisel striking a block of stone. Habits carve away the unnecessary and reveal the masterpiece. Every choice you repeat, every discipline you practice, every decision you reinforce, it all forms the destiny you will one day walk into. Now hear me clearly. If your habits are weak, your future will be weak. If your habits are strong, your future will be strong. Destiny is not written in the stars. It is written in your daily routine. It is written in the way you treat time, in the way you handle distractions, in the way you keep promises to yourself when no one is watching. You see, habits are a law of life. No one escapes them. They either serve you or they sabotage you. They either build your dream or they destroy it. The choice is yours. And the most dangerous habit of all is inconsistency. Starting today and stopping tomorrow. Getting excited in the moment but abandoning the process when it gets difficult. That is why so many never rise to their potential. They confuse passion with consistency and motivation with discipline. Think of the greats. Think of Warren Buffett, who reads hundreds of pages daily even now. Think of Elon Musk, who refused to stop even after multiple rockets exploded. Think of Oprah Winfrey, who maintained her daily commitment to growth even when doors closed against her. These individuals did not reach success because of one dramatic decision. They reached success because of the small, consistent habits that compounded over time. Habits are like interest in a bank account. They compound. One good decision may not change your life instantly, but repeated daily, it will transform your entire future. Waking up early one day does not matter, but waking up early every day for a year will put you ahead of millions. Reading one book may not change your destiny, but reading for 30 minutes every day will transform your thinking, your perspective, your vision. That is the secret of habits. They look small, but they build greatness over time. And here is the truth. Every habit is a seed. What you plant will grow. If you plant procrastination, you will reap regret. If you plant discipline, you will reap progress. If you plant negativity, you will reap failure. But if you plant faith, consistency, and focus, you will reap destiny. The law of sowing and reaping applies not just to the ground. It applies to your daily life. So, my friends, examine your habits. Because your future is already being written, not tomorrow, but today. Your destiny is not waiting at the end of the road. It is being created step by step, choice by choice, habit by habit. Your habits are shaping your destiny. My friends, let me tell you something that will change the way you see success. The true secret of billionaires, the real foundation of greatness is not luck, it is not genius, it is not even money. It is discipline. Discipline is the quiet power behind every extraordinary achievement. We all wake up each morning with the same gift, 24 hours. Time is the one resource no man can buy more of. Time is the great equalizer. Whether you are rich or poor, young or old, we all have the same 24 hours. The difference is not in the hours, it is in what you do with those hours. Discipline is what transforms those hours into destiny. Discipline is the ability to control yourself, to choose what you want most over what you want now. And that is where the battle of greatness is fought, in the small decisions of everyday life. Do you spend another hour scrolling through distractions, or do you invest that hour into building your mind? Do you choose comfort, or do you choose growth? Billionaires are not more talented than everyone else. They are more disciplined in how they use their time, their focus, and their energy. Consider the life of Warren Buffett. At his core, he is not a magician of money. He is a man of discipline. He spends 5 to 6 hours a day reading, every single day. That discipline compounded into wisdom, and that wisdom multiplied into billions. Elon Musk works with relentless intensity, often putting in 16-hour days, not because he enjoys exhaustion, but because he understands the discipline required to push the boundaries of possibility. Oprah Winfrey carved her way through rejection and hardship by disciplining her mind, her speech, her attitude, until her very presence became an inspiration to millions. You see, discipline is the difference between potential and achievement. Many people have potential, many people have dreams, but very few are willing to embrace the discipline required to transform those dreams into reality. Discipline is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. It is proof that you are serious about your future. Let me ask you, what is holding you back right now? It is not an opportunity. Opportunities exist. It is not intelligence. You have the capacity to learn. It is not a resource. Some of the greatest billionaires started with nothing. What holds most people back is the lack of discipline to do what must be done, even when it is difficult, even when it is boring, even when it is painful. Discipline is not glamorous. No one applauds you for going to bed early so you can rise before the sun. No one claps when you say no to distractions. No one celebrates the hours you spend studying, practicing, and perfecting your craft. But those unseen sacrifices are the very bricks that build empires. Discipline is lonely, it is quiet, it is often hidden. But it is also unstoppable. Think of an athlete training for the Olympics. While others are sleeping, he is running. While others are eating carelessly, she is measuring her diet. While others are playing, they are practicing. That is the discipline behind greatness. Billionaires live with that same principle, not in sports, but in business, in learning, in leadership. They discipline their time, their habits, their associations, and slowly, steadily, that discipline shapes their destiny. Discipline is also about mastery. It is not enough to do something once. It is about doing it consistently until it becomes part of who you are. A disciplined mind does not wander aimlessly. A disciplined person does not quit when it gets hard. A disciplined spirit endures, and that endurance produces results that others call extraordinary. But extraordinary is simply the fruit of disciplined consistency. And discipline is not a punishment. It is not the enemy of freedom. Discipline is the path to freedom. A person who is disciplined in finances is free from debt. A person who is disciplined in health is free from disease. A person who is disciplined in thought is free from fear. Billionaires are not enslaved by their wealth. They are empowered by the discipline that built it. Without discipline, even wealth can be lost. With discipline, even nothing can be turned into abundance. So when you look at the billionaires of today, do not envy their success. Study their discipline. Study their routines. Study the choices they make daily. Because the difference between where you are and where they are is not the dream. It is the discipline behind the dream. My friends, if you want to understand the secret of building something that outlives you, if you want to know how legacies are written in history, then you must understand the power of perseverance. Perseverance is the fire that keeps you moving when everything around you tells you to stop. It is the quiet strength that refuses to bow to failure, the courage that says, I will rise again. Greatness is not built in a day. It is built daily. And the glue that holds that process together is perseverance. The truth is, anyone can start. Anyone can get excited about a new dream. Anyone can begin a journey with passion and hope. But it is only those who persevere through storms, disappointments, and obstacles that ever finish. Perseverance separates those who dream from those who achieve. Look at the stories of the greats. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before perfecting the light bulb. Each failure could have been the excuse to quit. Each failure could have been the reason to walk away. But Edison once said, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that will not work. That is perseverance. And because he persevered, today we live in light. Think of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, separated from his family, robbed of his freedom, humiliated by a system of oppression. He could have surrendered. He could have let bitterness destroy him. But perseverance gave him strength. And when he walked out of that prison, he did not walk out as a broken man. He walked out as a leader who would change a nation and inspire the world. That is what perseverance does. It transforms pain into power and setbacks into stepping stones. Now let me bring it closer to our world today. Elon Musk risked everything he had to build SpaceX and Tesla. There was a time when both companies were on the brink of collapse. Rockets exploded him. He faced humiliation and near bankruptcy. But he did not stop. He persevered. And today he is reshaping the future of energy and space exploration. Perseverance is not glamorous. It is not a pretty story when you are in the middle of it. It looks like rejection letters. It looks like doors closing in your face. It feels like working hard and seeing no results, at least for a season. It feels lonely. But perseverance is not about feelings. Perseverance is about commitment. It is the decision to stay the course, to keep moving, to refuse to quit, no matter how long the road may be. Here is the truth: life will test you. Destiny will test you. Your dream will test you. Every great calling comes with resistance, and it is in that resistance that your perseverance is proven. The challenges are not there to destroy you. They are there to reveal you. They are there to build the strength that your legacy requires. Because no legacy is born out of comfort. Legacies are forged in the furnace of trials. Perseverance also means believing in the unseen. It means trusting the process even when you cannot see the results. It means watering the seed even when the soil looks dry. It means showing up every single day, even when nothing seems to change. And then one day the breakthrough comes. One day the door opens. One day the effort multiplies. But it only comes to those who refuse to quit. Perseverance is also contagious. When people see you standing strong in the face of adversity, when they watch you refuse to bow to defeat, they are inspired to rise too. That is why perseverance builds legacy. Because it is not just about what you achieve for yourself, it is about what your story inspires in others. Your perseverance becomes the blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. Ask yourself this: what will people remember about your life? Will they remember someone who gave up when it got hard, or someone who persevered until the end? Will they remember excuses, or will they remember resilience? The stories we tell of great men and women are not about how easy life was for them. They are about how they persevered when life was hard. And that is the gift you can leave behind, a legacy of perseverance, a legacy that tells the world, when life knocked me down, I got back up. When the dream seemed impossible, I kept believing. When the road grew long, I kept walking. Perseverance is what writes your name in history. Perseverance is what builds a legacy that cannot be erased. My friends, I want you to understand something powerful today. Your circumstances do not decide your destiny, where you were born. The family you came from, the poverty you may have faced, the pain you may have endured, none of these things have the authority to define your future. What defines your future are your habits. Habits outlive circumstances. Habits are stronger than the limitations you were born into. History is filled with men and women who rose above impossible conditions, not because they were favored by chance, but because they built habits that carried them beyond their circumstances. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty, endured abuse, and faced rejection over and over again. But she developed the habit of reading, the habit of speaking, the habit of believing in her worth. Those habits lifted her out of the shadows of her circumstances and placed her on the global stage as a voice of influence and inspiration. Circumstances are temporary. Habits are permanent. Poverty can surround you, but if you build habits of discipline and vision, poverty cannot stay inside you. Struggles can weigh you down, but if you cultivate habits of faith and resilience, no circumstance can hold you back forever. Your environment might not choose you, but your habits will elevate you. Let me give you another picture. A child born in a storm does not have control over the weather. The wind blows, the rain falls, the thunder roars. That child cannot stop the storm. But if that child learns to walk, learns to stand, learns to take steps one by one, eventually the storm will pass and the child will keep moving forward. The storm is temporary. The habit of walking is permanent. That is how life works. Your habits outlive your circumstances. Look at the story of Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks. He grew up in a poor neighborhood, the son of a truck driver who struggled to support his family. His circumstances screamed limitation. But Howard built habits of vision, habits of leadership, habits of persistence. Those habits outlasted the poverty he grew up in. Today his vision has influenced the world. Circumstances may explain where you are, but they do not dictate where you will end up. Habits are stronger than the environment. Habits are stronger than excuses. Habits are stronger than statistics. You may have been told that people from your background don't succeed, that people with your history don't rise, that people with your past don't break through. But I stand before you today to declare that your habits can rewrite that story. Habits are not bound by geography. Habits are not bound by history. Habits are not bound by economics. Habits are universal laws. They produce results no matter where you start. Reading daily will expand your mind whether you are in a mansion or a small room. Saving a portion of your income will build wealth whether you earn much or little. Speaking with kindness and integrity will build relationships whether you are known by many or known by few. Habits create outcomes that cannot be chained by circumstances. And here is the power of it when you cultivate the right habits. They follow you into every season of life. You can lose money, but habits of wisdom will rebuild it. You can lose opportunity, but habits of discipline will create new doors. You can be rejected by people, but habits of perseverance will take you to those who will embrace you. Habits are the companions of destiny. They go with you wherever you go, and they will carry you far beyond the reach of your circumstances. Think about Abraham Lincoln. Born into poverty, self-educated, failed in business, defeated in elections multiple times. His circumstances looked like failure written in stone, but he had habits of persistence, habits of learning, habits of rising again after every setback. Those habits carried him beyond the labels of failure and poverty, and they crowned him as one of the greatest presidents in history. His circumstances tried to define him, but his habits wrote his legacy. So I say to you, stop magnifying your circumstances. Stop using your environment as an excuse. The ground may not be fair, the weather may not be kind, the season may not be easy, but your habits are more powerful than all of it. Focus on what you do daily, because your habits will build a ladder that climbs out of any pit. Your habits will build wings that fly above any storm. Your habits will outlive every limitation that life has placed around you. My friends, I want you to hear me clearly today. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. Greatness is not something that belongs only to billionaires, presidents, inventors, or celebrities. Greatness is not out there, far beyond your reach. Greatness is already within you. It has been placed inside of you from the beginning, like a seed waiting to grow, like potential waiting to be unlocked. The tragedy of life is not that people die. The real tragedy is that so many people die without ever discovering the greatness that was already inside them. They live and leave this world carrying songs they never sang, books they never wrote, businesses they never built, dreams they never pursued. Not because they lacked ability, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they did not believe in the greatness within themselves. You see, every human being carries potential. Potential is untapped power, unused ability, hidden strength, and potential does not announce itself with noise or applause. It sits quietly inside you, waiting for you to activate it through belief, discipline, and action. That is why billionaires are not a different species. They are ordinary people who discovered the extraordinary within themselves. They dared to believe that what was inside of them was greater than the obstacles outside of them. Think about Steve Jobs. He was not born into wealth or privilege. He was an adopted child, dropped out of college, faced rejection after rejection. Yet he believed in the greatness within him. He had a vision of technology that could change the world, and he nurtured that vision until Apple became one of the most valuable companies in history. The greatness he carried was not given to him by society. It was something he unlocked from within. Or think about J.K. Rowling, a single mother living on welfare, rejected by publisher after publisher. Her circumstances whispered failure. But she chose to believe in the greatness within her imagination, and she kept writing. Today, her stories have inspired millions of readers around the world. That is greatness. Not greatness that was handed to her, but greatness that was already inside her, waiting to be revealed. The problem is that many people look outside for what can only be found inside. They wait for someone to validate them, someone to open a door, someone to give permission. But greatness does not come from outside. Greatness begins when you decide to trust what God has already placed inside of you. It begins when you choose to believe that your life has purpose, that your talents are not accidents, that your vision has value. Greatness within you is like a hidden treasure. And treasure is not found on the surface. It must be searched for, dug out, refined, and develop the discipline of habits, the resilience of perseverance, the courage to act. These are the tools that mine the treasure within. If you refuse to dig, you will never discover it. But if you dare to search, you will find more than you ever imagined. Greatness does not mean you will never face struggles. In fact, struggles are often the very place where greatness is revealed. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. Legends are born in the crucible of adversity. Do not despise your challenges. They are not there to destroy you. They are there to draw out the greatness already inside you. Let me remind you of something powerful. Every billionaire, every leader, every person you admire, they are not extraordinary because of where they came from. They are extraordinary because they refuse to ignore the greatness within them. And that same greatness lives inside you. It is waiting for your decision. It is waiting for your belief. It is waiting for your action. Look at yourself. You carry ideas that could transform industries. You carry words that could heal hearts. You carry solutions that could change communities. You carry strength that could lift nations. But none of it will manifest until you recognize that it is already inside you. The question is not whether you have greatness. The question is whether you will awaken it. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop saying you are not ready. Stop comparing yourself to others. The seed of greatness within you does not need permission to grow. It only needs your commitment to nurture it. What you have is enough to begin. What you carry is enough to rise. What you believe is enough to unlock the future. My friends, we have journeyed together through the truths that shape extraordinary lives. We have seen that habits shape destiny, that discipline is the secret of the great, that perseverance builds legacy, that habits outlive circumstances, and that greatness is already within you. And here is what all of this means. Your future is not waiting somewhere far away. It is being formed right now in the choices you make daily. Do not underestimate the small decisions, the consistent actions, the quiet disciplines, for they are writing the story of your life. You may look at billionaires and think they are different, that they were chosen by fortune. But I tell you, they are proof that ordinary people with extraordinary habits can change the world, and so can you. Do not let your past become a prison. Do not let your environment silence your potential. Do not let failure convince you to quit. Everything you need to rise has already been placed within you. The seed of greatness is alive in your spirit. The key is to activate it through habits, through discipline, through perseverance, through vision. And when you do, your life will not only transform, you will leave a legacy A legacy that says to the world here was a person who did not bow to fear, who did not surrender to circumstances, who chose to rise, to believe, to build, and to persevere until destiny was fulfilled.